Today we're going to learn how to play the Italian card game Briscola. Briscola is one of Italy's favorite games. It's an Italian word and an Italian name. It's pronounced Briscola, more or less. Italian words can seem intimidating, but actually if you break them up, they can be quite manageable. Look at this one. Cannucciari. Might make you nervous, huh? Just slow down, break it up. Cannucciari. Cannucciari. Not so bad, right? No more excuses. Okay, Briscola is one of the 3 most popular card games in the great Italian card game trilogy of Scopa, Briscola, and Tre Sette. Not to be confused with the great Italian emotional trilogy of Guilt, Grudge, and Envy. Briscola is a trick-taking game, meaning one player throws down a card, and the other players try to beat it with a higher card in that suit or by using a card from a special suit, such as a 6 of swords is beaten by an ace of swords. However, this ace of cups cannot beat it because it is not in the correct suit. The goal is to be the first player team to score the most points in a single round game, or hit a designated number over several rounds. I like to play the first to 150 points, which takes about 3 rounds. But you do you. Of the Italian card games, Briscola is, in my opinion, the easiest to learn and play. This makes it a fun game to start and a hard game to put down. In Italy, you're likely to see teams of old men playing this game for hours at a local bar. And it's a great game for couples to play against other couples. There are lots of different ways to play Briscola. It's Italian. There's never just one way to do anything. Briscola is often played with 2 teams of 2, but for this introduction, we'll learn the basic game for 2 players. So how does this card game work? You'll need a 40-card Italian-style deck, preferably the Sicilian one, or a standard poker deck with the 8s, 9s, and 10s removed. Play looks like this. Face-down cards in each player's hand, and a deck in the middle. The unique thing here is you place one face-up card at the bottom of the middle deck. Unlike the Italian card game Scopa, the cards do not ascend in value from ace through king. Rather, a few cards jump out of that order. The cards go from lowest to highest. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, Jack or Fante, Queen or Cavallo, King or Rey, and then it gets weird. The second highest card is the 3, and then finally the ace is the highest card. The ace and 3 are significantly higher in point value. If you happen to own an Italian deck, you'll notice that the artwork on the aces and 3s are much more decorative than the other numbered cards. Briscola and the game Tre Sette are the reasons for that. Let's talk about point values. The only cards that earn points are the Jacks or Fantes are worth 2, the Queens or Cavalli are worth 3, the Kings are worth 4, the 3s are worth 10 points, and the aces are worth 11. Yes, you heard right, 3s are worth 10, and aces are 11. So you're going to want to collect a lot of those. Suits play a big role in this game. Identify your 4 suits. If you're playing with a poker deck, it's going to be diamonds, hearts, clubs, spades. If you're playing with an Italian deck, it's going to be soldi, coppe, bastone, spade, or in English, money, coins, cups, clubs or sticks, and spade are swords. I'll show you the most basic version of this game, but just know that there are many, many other ways to play this classic game, and I hope to share those with you in a later video. Hopefully. Briscola is a game with a Baroque suit. What does that mean for a suit to be a Baroque? Well, Baroque means blessed. So in a round, that blessed suit is more powerful than all the other suits. Just think of your Baroque suit as the highest suit. A suit that doesn't lose. A suit that just wins. In this game, the Italians simply call it the Briscola suit, or Briscola. The Briscola can change each round. In the standard version of Briscola, you learn which suit will be the blessed suit when you flip over the very first card. In this case, diamonds. Or shuffle the cards, and maybe in the next round you would have spades. Each player gets 3 face-down cards. Then the dealer immediately reveals the next card, face up. Pay attention to the suit that was just shown. This will be the Baroque or Briscola suit this round. And this card will remain face up under the main deck. This means that clubs will beat out any other suit played this round. The player opposite the dealer goes first. They can play any of their cards. For demonstration purposes, we will show the hands face up. Okay, so you see what we have here? the opponent has a point card. It's an ace of hearts. That ace of hearts is the top of the heart suit. If this player was to play that ace in the first hand, I could only beat it by playing a higher heart card, a higher card in the suit that was just played, or any clubs, which is the Briscola suit. I don't have a higher heart. I don't want to play my highest card either, because then I lose those points to my opponent. Then I would play the lowest card in my hand, a jack of hearts, which is worth 2. This player instantly wins 11 points, plus my 2 points, 13 points. They'll put this in a collection deck next to the side of their hand, and they'll count those cards at the end of the round. The next thing that happens is each player replenishes their cards to 3. You'll always have 3 until the end of the game. The winner takes the first card. And then counterclockwise to that player, other players replenish their hand back to 3. The player that won the previous round goes first. And this time they have a very valuable card. It's a 3, which in this game, 3s are worth 10 points. They're not a lowly card. They're quite the opposite. 3s are the second most powerful number card in Briscola. If you played a 3, there's only one other card that can beat that card, which is the ace of clubs. Might be a good thing to hold on to. Also, this player played hearts last time and won the ace, so they'll play the hearts again, hoping that I don't have a high hearts card. Because I played a jack last time, they played the ace. There are not many cards in between. However, I do have the king of hearts, which is worth 4 points, and I'll take that card and collect it. And this time, since the dealer won that hand, he takes the next card, and the other player takes theirs. Well, they've got a really great hand. They have a 3, a 4, a 5. So this is the lowest card they have, then the 5, and the 3 is the highest card they have. They're all in the Briscola suit, so the only way that the dealer can win against those cards is if they have a higher clubs card. So the dealer leads with their queen, hoping to get these 3 points the queen is worth. This player doesn't have to use their high 3 yet. They can use their lowest club card and still win, in which they do. And so since they won, they take the next card. Could they play another Briscola card, another Baroque suit? They could. Maybe it's better to hold on to that in case the dealer throws in an enticing card. So they'll lead with the queen, and she's worth 3 points. Now, this player is in a tough spot. 2 is the lowest card in the game. It's not in the Briscola suit. And a 4 is the second lowest card. So there's no way to win. They just throw a 2 to get rid of it. And then the opponent takes another card. Wow, another card in the Briscola suit. That's amazing. And the dealer gets a great card. It's the ace of diamonds, which is worth 11 points. All aces are worth 11 points. However, it's not in the Briscola suit. So if they played it, they would put themselves at risk of losing it to a Briscola card. All right, so this player is going to lead with their lowest of their Briscola suit. And this player can't beat that, so they'll play their 2 just to get rid of it. Next, so both players draw back up to 3 cards. The winner draws first and goes first. They could play one of their Briscola cards, but maybe they'll just save those for later. So spades, well, that's not a Briscola suit. Can I win it with something in my hand here? This ace is higher than that, isn't it? Yes, it is. However, it's not. It doesn't follow suit of what the suit that the opponent played. So I couldn't win with this card. I would lose this card, which is worth 11 points, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather just throw away a pointless card. And even though they're collecting more, they're not collecting points. But they get to draw up first again, as does this player. So same strategy here. They're going to play a card that's not their Briscola suit. They're going to hold on to those. Now, as the player played a hearts card, does the dealer have to follow suit? There are many, many card games in which you have to follow the suit that was played. Briscola is not one of those games. Trisette, which we'll discuss later, is one of those games. But in Briscola, you can play anything you want, at least in this version. There are many versions, and maybe your version requires you to follow the suit, but you do not have to. So I don't have to play the 5 of hearts. But I don't really care. I'll just play it because I can't capitalize on anything here. This player picks up again because they won. All right. And so now, same strategy. They throw a card that's out of the Briscola suit. Now this is a great opportunity for the dealer finally to score some points. They have the ace of diamonds. Since diamonds were the suit that was led with, if you have a higher diamond than the one that was thrown, you throw it and you win it. So ace is higher than 6. That's 11 points for the dealer. And because the dealer won that round, they now collect the next card. And that also requires them to play first. Okay, so now the dealer can lead. They have a lot of spades. They also have a 3 of spades. Now they could risk it and play it and hope that their opponent doesn't have a clubs card, which is the Briscola suit. And if they win 10 points. However, the player could also have the ace of spades, which would beat the 3. It's the one card that can beat a 3. And then they would take 10 points for the 3 and 11 for the ace, 21 points. It's a risky move, so the dealer is just going to place a 7. Now this player has unbeatable cards right now. They are all the Briscola suit, they're all clubs. They can win this instantly, they can win it with some points, but they'll probably hold back on those. They'll take the 5 and win it that way. So even though this player led with spades, they beat it by playing a Briscola card. Okay, so they each take a new card. Aha, so now this player has a very high spades card, the highest spades card, the ace of spades, and they also have 2 cards which are in the unbeatable suit. They're just going to risk it and play this and hope that this player doesn't have a clubs, which they haven't really had much of, but they do have a clubs, so they can place this 7, which is below an ace in points ranking, but wins because it's the suit of the round, the club suit. So they get those 11 points. They get to pick from the deck next, and then the opponent picks. Maybe they're feeling a little cocky. They'll play the queen of hearts. She's worth 3 points. She's not worth as much as an ace or a 3, but that causes a little bit of a dilemma here. Should this player win it, which they can, they have 2 clubs, or should they save those clubs for a higher card that could be thrown? If they don't throw their clubs, they'll lose this round by throwing a jack, which is 2 points. So they would lose a total of 5 points. So maybe they feel like, well, let's get those 5 points. We'll throw the jack of clubs and win that. They won, so they get the next card. A 3, great. And then a king. So they've got a very high card here and a jack worth 2. This is a risky move because they don't know if this player has any clubs or not. They could lose more than 10 points. So they'll play the jack, which is just 2 points. This player can't beat it because they can't play over diamonds and they have no clubs. So they just throw away their 6. That goes to the opponent. The opponent gets the next card. A 2. So a 2 is worth basically nothing. They throw that out, not knowing that this player has a 3. And in this game, 3s are not the number above 2s. They're the number above kings. So 3 is a great win for this player. They get 10 points on that win. They get the next card. And so they could throw this king here, but they don't know what the opponent has. They don't want to lose those 4 points. So they throw a lowly 4. Now, this player has the 3 of diamonds. That's a much higher card in the diamond suit. They throw that, instant win, 10 points to this player. They won, so they get the next card. So should they throw diamonds? Well, they know that there's no more 3 of diamonds anymore. And perhaps they recall or not recall, was the ace of diamonds played? I don't know. I'm just going to risk it. And it's a good risk because this player only has the 5 of diamonds, which is worth less. They get the next card, next card. Now they're in a great situation over here again because they have 3 clubs. Yet again, they've been pretty lucky. They can hold on to the 3 and the queen and still have a pretty guaranteed win here by playing the 6. So this player is stuck. They have 3 cards which all have values. The kings are worth 4, and the jacks are worth 2. But they can't beat a club. Club is the blessed suit here, and it's impossible to beat. So they just have to sacrifice their jack. They lose those 2 points. Then the next card comes up for the opponent. It's a 3, and then, oh, an ace of clubs. So the dealer just got the best card of this round. It's in the Briscola suit, and it's the ace. Nothing can beat this card. Whenever they choose to throw it, they'll win, no matter what. The opponent has the second best card, the 3 of clubs. They also have the queen of clubs, which is pretty high up in this round. And they won, so what should they do? Well, they want to win this card, because this card actually goes into play. The card that you flipped over in the beginning will actually go to one of these 2 players. And that is because if they win, they'll take the top card, and the loser will get the bottom card. It's a little bit of an advantage for the loser here. And if this player wins, they'll get the top card, and their opponent will get the good Briscola card from the bottom. What should they do? Well, they know if they play these or these, they'll probably win, so maybe they're willing to sacrifice the 3 in order to get that king. And here comes the dilemma for the dealer. Do I go like this? Ace for a 3. I earn this, I win. I get 21 points. That's pretty great. Or do I save it hoping that maybe they'll throw an ace and I can ace on top of that to get 22 points? Well, it's up to you. I'd say get the 21 points. They're guaranteed. Yes, you'll lose the king. So they do that. They flip over this. And look at this. So now this player has an unbeatable hand. So they know that the ace has been thrown, and they have the next 3 highest cards, the 3, the king, the queen. And so they can just put it out there, and then I just say, well, you got it all. Okay, you win. And so they would take the kings, which is 12 points in itself, and then another 3 for the queen. Pretty good last round for them. Okay, let's talk about scoring and the point system. Cards of value are, again, jacks or fante get 2 points each. Queens or cavalli earn 3 points each. Kings or rays are worth 4 points. 3s are worth 10 points. And aces are worth 11 points. All other cards are worth nothing. The value is the same across all suits, whether or not they were from the Briscola suit. There are a total of 120 points each round. So if the totals between all players don't add up to that, somebody's bad at math. Count again. So once all the cards have been picked up, you take your deck and you separate the cards of value. I like to put the face cards in one pile and the aces and 3s in another, but do whatever you want. These cards are not worth anything, so you can simply put them to the side. 3s, aces here. Okay, it's going to be a pretty easy count for the dealer because they didn't score very much. Aces are worth 11, so you have 11, 22, 33. Then you have 3s, which are worth 10, so 43, 53. And then you have a king worth 4, so that's 57 points. That's actually pretty good. There are a total of 120 points each round. So this player almost hit that mark. If you get 61 points or more, you win the round. Or if you like to play the way I play, you can just bank those points and work your way to 150. The opponent's going to have a bit of a more tricky hand to count because they have a lot of face cards, so we'll separate those. Aces go there. Junk cards there. A lot of junk cards. Put these here. Okay, so they only have 3 high cards. 10, 20, 31. And then you go to these face cards. 31 plus 4 is 35. Plus another 4 is 39. 39 plus 4 is 43. And then we can go to queens. So these are worth 3, 33, 46, 49, 52, 55. And then these are each worth 2, 57, 59, 61, 63. Since 60 is half of 120, if you have over 61 points in a 2-player game, you're the winner of that round. So it was pretty close in the end. Even though the dealer got fewer cards, they got these cards of greater value. And the opponent won many more times, however, their cards weren't worth as much. If you were playing winner takes all, the opponent would have won this round, and you could play the best out of 3, the best out of 5 of, do you win the game? 1 point for winning that. So if you're playing the best out of 3, the opponent would be up by 1 point. Need to win one more game to win it all. That's a good way to play quickly. Just play, best of 3 rounds. As I said, I like to play up to a number value of usually 150. So in this case, nobody really won the game. The opponent is in the lead here, but the dealer can still catch up and hit that 150 mark first. If you do play another round, the deal goes to the next player. Shuffle the cards and give out 3 face-down cards to each player. Again, the next card is turned over and placed under the deck. This suit becomes this round's Briscola, or high suit. In this round, clubs are no longer the high suit. Hearts are the new Briscola suit. Special rules. If a player is dealt the 2 of the Briscola suit, they can call for a misdeal and the cards are reset. If a player has a hand containing the king, 3, and ace of the Briscola suit, they have what's known as the black hand. Show it to your opponents immediately. You automatically win that round. Once you get the hang of Briscola, it plays fast and fun. This version is super basic, but other versions ramp up in complexity, competitiveness, and in my opinion, enjoyment. Playing with 2 teams of 2 is a favorite way for most Italians to play Briscola. It's incredibly competitive and full of tricks and traps. My favorite way to play Briscola is the married couple version, in which you have a 5-card hand, and there's no starting Briscola suit. Rather, the first player to get a king or queen of the same suit in their hand can call it as the Briscola suit for that round, and they earn a bonus of 40 points for doing so. In this case, by having the queen and king of clubs, makes clubs the Briscola suit this round, until another player can show a king and queen of a different suit in their hand, and then it would become that suit. I hope you'll give Briscola a try. There's a reason it has endured for so many years, and if you get the hang of it, I'm sure you'll agree with the millions of Italians who love it too. Did you like this video? Let me know if I got something wrong, or if you play it differently, or just want to say hi. Please comment, like, and subscribe to help keep this channel alive. Also, help support the hard work that goes into these videos by giving to our Patreon. You're great. Thank you. I'm Chris Cannucciari, and I'll see you next time on Playing Games. What's this? It's the Ace of Like card. Once this card is played, you have to like the video. It's just a rule.